Okay, we are at the 3 o'clock hour for our winter storm. It is again Sunday, January 19th, 2025. Well, since we last talked, my temperature in Freehold has basically crashed from 36 down to 34.2 and steadily falling. And with that, you're seeing the evolution of our storm. Now, let me make this very clear. And, I'm going to just stand out here. This storm is just starting, right? The main event of this storm is this evening. And remember, the forecast for the I 95 corridor is to have a changeover by about 5 p.m. to all snow. So far, we've gone from rain to sleet about 2 hours ahead of time. And now we're waiting for the next batch of precipitation while our temperatures are falling steadily towards freezing. So far, everything within the forecast is working out pretty much as expected. So, why is there a dry slot? So, let's take a look at the observations and explain this. So, right now we have our cold air transport. Temperatures are falling steadily. We're down to 35 at Belmar. We're at 33 here in Mount Holly. Philadelphia is around 34. No precipitation is being reported right now in those locations. In Dollstown, it's light snow. Down towards Lancaster, we're getting heavy snow being reported. So, hey, wait, we have heavy snow reported. What's going on here? Okay, well, and take a look at the radar. You can see a very impressive batch here of precipitation, which is mostly snow. Might have a little bit of sleet mixed in here and there around Maryland. Now, here is your quote unquote dry slot, but it's not a dry slot. When you have rapidly rising air, you have to have sinking air. This is a basic physics law, okay? Conservation of mass. Okay, so we're going to go back to high school physics for a second. If you have rising motion in one location, you must have an equal and opposite reaction somewhere else, which happens to be here. Now, is this a concern for the forecast? The answer is no. The reason why is that the whole basis of the forecast, the whole idea of the forecast is for this evening to have very intense, heavy precipitation moving over the northern Atlantic. That's what's developing right now. That's why you have this area sinking air. Is this going to last? No, it's already starting to fill in. You can start to see some of the showers starting to develop here in central New Jersey. But more importantly, you're getting precipitation here over the coastal waters starting to grow and expand. And you're seeing your intensification of the precipitation down here. Understand that this is a fast moving storm. This isn't something where it starts now and ends tomorrow morning. This is going to end around 10 p.m. Most locations over eastern Pennsylvania by 8 p.m. So this is a fast moving storm, a quick hit that's going to pile up very quickly. Why? Well, let's take a look at our observations again. Our temperatures are already in the lower 20s here in the Poconos, and those colder temperatures are heading our way. And that is what's going to lead to a rise in your snow ratio. When you have a rise in your snow ratio, that means that 1 inch of precipitation equals more snowfall than original 10 to 1, which most people are used to. It's more like 15 to 1, possibly 20 to 1 as the storm evolves. So the whole idea of temperatures falling, colder air building in, that is all evolving as expected. Taking a look at our surface low pressure system, yep, it's tracking exactly as expected. I'm trying to make a very clear point here. The storm is evolving as expected, and we have a long way to go. For storm-wise, it's a short storm. For us, it's still roughly about 8 to 9 hours worth of impacts. So here's our low pressure system. It's starting to move off the coast here. You're starting to see the heights beginning to fall, moving right along where our stationary front is. So there's our low pressure system. There's our frontal boundary, pretty much tracking as expected. And then here again is our strong lifting that's starting to develop. I'm going to show you this in various different ways. First of all, we have the colder cloud tops starting to develop and mature, but also we're starting to see the expansion of the precipitation shield, which you can kindly see out here. Well, let's take a look at a different way of seeing this. How about the water vapor satellite picture? Yeah, you can start to see it. Now let's zoom in, shall we? All right, so this is at the lower levels of our water vapor channel. And you can see the precipitation shield. When you start to see this ribbing nature, that means your precipitation shield is not only growing, but you're starting to get divergence and diffluence setting up. Rising air starting to take hold. And that fills in this sinking air that you see right here over central and southern New Jersey. And that will continue to lift up towards the New York City metro, giving you a little bit of a break. But this feature right here is what's heading towards us. You can even see it even more nicely here. You see how it's kind of like ribbed right here? See how you kind of get this rising motion showing up? This is very clearly rising motion taking hold. And so when you start to see this, your support for heavier precipitation that will be in a colder environment increases significantly. And again, you don't need to use any model guidance on this. All you got to do is look at the observations and understand what they mean. So we're seeing all this taking shape here. And so here comes our shortwave coming in. We'll zoom in. There it is coming in, supporting the strong lifting. It's a perfect scenario. There again is the sinking air right over central New Jersey. Here comes the next wave of precipitation starting to grow here, and next wave here. How does that look like in terms of each level at 700 millibars? There's all our moisture getting ready to push in at the mid levels, 700 millibars. Associated with that, there is our strong frontogenesis. Frontogenesis is lifting via the thermal gradient. So you're seeing that developing over central Pennsylvania, heading towards our neck of the woods. It's starting to develop here around at 850 millibars. Again, there's our 850 millibar low. The warm air transport at 850 millibars is getting cut off, and our new 850 low is getting ready to shift towards the coast. Again, this is at 3 o'clock. We're supposed to see this true changeover by 5 o'clock. So again, we got 2 hours of mixing still possible before it starts impacting our forecast in a negative way to reduce snowfall totals. Right now, looks good. At 850 millibars, there is our frontogenesis that is starting to intensify and grow. Same thing at 925 millibars. Now this is cutting off the warm air transport, setting up cold air transport over the New York City metro, northern New Jersey, all the Philadelphia metro, now coming in with a northeasterly wind. Only place left with warm air transport is southeastern New Jersey. Sorry, guys, but that's why you're expecting only about an inch, maybe 2, 4 inches if something very unusual happens. If you get changeover to snow very quickly before 8 p.m., I don't see that happening, though, the way this is setting up. So it looks like on the lower end of scale down towards Cape May and you guys. But again, that changeover, that transition starting to happen right now as we are looking at this. And then here is the frontogenesis associated with that at 925 millibars. So again, everything's taking shape as expected. The cold air's coming in. Precipitation shield starting to grow. Real true cold air is right on the wings. Once this low pressure system moves off the coast, temperatures will continue to fall, but even faster. So overall, forecast is pretty much on track. We'll see how it goes with the snow accumulation. But if you're looking to make declarations about whether or not this is a bust or not at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then I assume 2 things. 1, you haven't been paying attention to the forecast, or 2, you don't know how to tell time. So, I don't know. At any rate, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next hour.